a
that way,
lot.
doesn't it?
Does it hit you like that too?
Yes, it does. Yeah. I
Not,
think on
yeah,
some
not,
level, um, yeah, that may
yeah.
be true, actually.
I do think so. I mean, I'm not fantastical or anything like that or
Yeah.
fanciful. I mean, and
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
and the other part for me personally, as long as we have a minute here, is all my brother is a well, he's actually a missionary. He's a Pentecostal, and he served a great role in my life in my early 20s.
Uh-huh.
And he always said, "Yades." I asked, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then, s- almost like sideways, I was brought into Sahaja Yoga, and then I found out that is one of the greatest miracles for me personally in Sahaja Yoga because I wanted what I hear professed and seen, in other faiths, let's say, or in my brother's situation. But I didn't want to like make it a mental, as Sri Mataji says, a mental projection. I wanted to know, who are you? And so I could never say, oh, um, be Lord of my life. Not that I was being defiant. I just wanted to be honest. I had no identification with that. But so anyway, I don't know if that, how much sense that makes to you, but thanks for letting me share that because here we are again today, reflecting on a quote and have an opportunity to tell you that every time
Yeah.
it's usually Rahul, shares a quote from
Yeah.
Sri Mataji on Christ. It seems to me like she's speaking as if she was speaking of a friend or
Yeah.
someone she's met.
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful story, Kathy. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for sharing that.
Well, thank you for allowing me and listening.
Yeah. Yeah, I know for me, I was also raised in a Christian faith, and I felt it. I did feel it in my heart as a youngster, like I felt a real connection. And then I sort of went off the rails a little bit in my foolish youth, if you could say. So it was a very beautiful experience for me to come discover Sahaja Yoga and to kind of bring new meaning to the idea of Christ and his life and how he fits into the whole scheme of the connection between him and other personalities that I had never encountered before. To realize that he has a relationship with all of these different incarnations, and you know that was like just the day dawning for me, that there could be not just like this kind of exclusive club of Christianity, but this kind of much more integrated um, uh, expression of the qualities of Christ and the qualities of the other incarnations all connected. As Srimataji talks about how the different religions are all flowers on the tree of life. Have you ever heard that expression?
Um, no, I haven't myself. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I have heard her how she speaks about different faith practices, and it
Yeah.
certainly mm, expresses what I've always thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
no, that one's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say that again, Christine, please. It's the flowers, what?
They are all different flowers on one tree of life.
Uh-huh.
And the problem started when, this is again Shrimataji's words, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said problem started when people plucked those flowers and tried to own them for themselves. So then that created sort of a separation between the different faiths and the
Mm,
different beliefs and everything, instead of letting the flowers just be enjoying the whole tree,
mm,
with the flowers on the tree. So um, anyway, that made a lot of sense to me, that different flowers on the tree of life, and with
mm.
different fragrances and different beauties. And so yeah,
Like us in Sahaja Yoga,
that's
because
right. Yeah,
hmm.
very much so.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking forward to our collective
Yeah,
meditation today.
yeah, me too. If anyone else has anything to share, we'd be happy to hear from you. No matter what level, even if you want to just share the weather. It's nice to hear from people. And Mark told us about he's taking care of all of his Christmas shopping, which is really admirable, I have to say. Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely need to meditate for a bit because I have not done so for 2 or 3 weeks now.
yeah,
So it's because of the business of run up to Christmas is usually
yeah,
pretty hectic in a family house like this one.
yeah,
So yeah, uh, I'm
yeah.
looking forward to this afternoon session.
Getting an early start is key, right?
Hmm.
Getting an early start on the shopping is key, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know. If you leave things to the last moment, it's just stress.
Yeah.
You don't really want stress. What you want is to be able to sit back and go, well, at least put some thought into my presents this year.
Mm-hmm.
I am, hello, good morning, everyone. This is
Hi,
Mati.
Mati. Hello.
Hi, I am
Hi, Mati.
really happy to see the sun shining in the blue skies this morning. And I was channeling my grandmother's words from the old country in Cuba. She was a country girl, and she always said in the morning, opening the windows, let the grace of God enter, referring,
Oh,
referring to the light. So that's what I say whenever I open my windows and door.
yeah.
So
That's lovely. Yeah. Are you someplace warm?
no, I'm in New Jersey, central New Jersey. It's cold, but it's beautiful.
Is- Do you open the windows in central New Jersey?
No, I go into the porch, I open my door, and the screen door is glass. And I go to the
Okay.
front porch, even if it's very, very cold, I sit there having my tea and reading the newspaper, even if it's
Yeah.
below, which we don't get below zero anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's we're all getting very soft in terms of the weather because of climate change. It
Yeah.
really doesn't get that cold. Uh,
That's true. Yeah. Oh, we had a cold spell there for a while, but now
yeah,
it's quite mild again. But I know what you mean. It's just to get sit in the sun, whether
I,
it's through a window or whatever, just get that sunshine
yep.
and, just let it bathe you in like you say, the light and
Mhm.
sort of, wake you up a little bit and just give you energy
And to welcome the day. So,
and to welcome the day and the grace of God. Yeah.
and there's also a psalm. I don't know which number it is, but I'm not very. I'm a Catholic. I became a Catholic. I'm not very religious. I've expressed that here. Uh, Things are too political, so but I take whatever with a grain of salt. But there is a beautiful psalm that says, "And the Lord hath created this day. Let us rejoice." So I say that every morning, looking up at
Oh, that's beautiful.
that.
Yeah. The Psalms are amazing.
Yes.
So we're getting close to our starting time, I think. Um, our official starting time. So if anyone still needs to prepare your foot soak bowl, now would be a good time to do that. And we all know already what the purpose of the foot soak is for cleansing on the physical and the subtle levels. The element of the water and the element of the salt creates like an ocean, our own private ocean. Um, that's how I like to look at it anyway. If we don't have to happen to have the ocean right handy, right outside our door, we can create that effect, the same effect through the foot soak. So I'm sure all of you already know all of that. And our topic today, in honor of the Christmas time, is how do we awaken the qualities of Christ within us? And we'll talk a little bit about what qualities we're referring to and how we can uh, make a connection with this personality, as we've just been talking about, this great personality of Christ who gave us so much guidance and so much teachings that are very much in line with Shimadaji's teachings. So we'll get into that a little bit more. So you can see the Agnya chakra is the sixth center. The Christ is represented at the center, which has two petals, one on either side. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead with our foot soak, and we'll get into the details, a few of the details a little bit further on in our program. But we'll always start with this cleansing process so that we can have, excuse me, a stronger meditation and really absorb the vibrations and absorb the energy from the talk of Shimadaji and from our meditation. So why don't we, I'd say, let's go ahead with starting our foot soak. So just checking that I have my bowl. So what I like to do is start, before I put my feet in the water, I like to start with raising my kundalini and putting bandhan. So why don't we go ahead and do that now? So what I feel is that gets the vibrations flowing, and then we can use our hands to give vibrations to the foot soak bowl. We use this bandhan motion, which is, I like to think of it as a spiral motion or a circular motion, but the spiral has a significance. It has a particular kind of energy. So I think of it as being a spiral. We can point our hand towards our foot soak bowl and give that spiral movement it's called a bandhan. Bandhan means bond of love. So we put that energy into the foot soak bowl, into the water and the salt. And we can ask at the same time that, oh, divine power, please may this foot soak be activated and vibrated for the purpose of cleansing our subtle system. And then we can go ahead and put our feet into the foot soak bowl. Foot soaking is something that you can do any time of day. It's not limited, but most people like to foot soak later in the day or before bed. For me, it's the morning. I don't mind having a foot soak in the morning at all to start the day out right. So let's open our hands on our lap and just settle down for a moment and allow ourselves to go silent inside, making sure that we're relaxed physically also, and checking in with all the different points along our body, doing sort of a body scan, making sure that we're relaxed at every point. Especially, I like to check, am I relaxed in my jaw and in my face, in my brow, and across my eyebrows. Oftentimes I think that we hold tension there, also the shoulders, all related and connected. So we want to just make sure all of that is relaxed on the physical level. And that gives us a way in to also relax on the mental level. Now let's let our right hand fall towards the Mother Earth, keeping our left hand open on her lap. Allowing the Mother Earth to absorb and remove any interference or negativities, any disruptions from our left side channel, the channel of our emotions, of our past. And we can ask inside Mother Earth, please absorb and remove anything getting in the way of my well-being of my left side channel. If we have thoughts coming in, we can just watch the thoughts as they pass by. Now we can bring our right hand back onto our lap, and we're going to take the left hand, bend at the elbow, face our palm backwards for the purpose of cleansing our right side channel. It's the channel of our activity, mental activity, our concepts of the future. We're allowing any excess heat that's built up from our sympathetic activity of the right side channel. Allowing that heat and any negativities to escape into the air and into the ether element through our left hand, which acts as a chimney, releasing all of that. And at the same time, we can ask inside that, please, Divine Power, Mother Kundalini, please cleanse and balance my right side channel. Please remove anything getting in the way of my well-being of this right side channel. Please cleanse and balance this right side channel, the Pingala Nadi it's called in Sanskrit. Pingala is golden, means golden. And then we can bring our left hand back down to our lap. And we can bring our attention onto our central channel. One way we can do this is use a simplified form of raising the Kundalini, where you just take your right hand and point your fingers towards your body and your attention on the center of your body and just lift this Kundalini energy, lift it all the way to the top of your head. And we can do that maybe 5 or 6 times. This helps us bring our attention onto the central channel, which is the channel of our evolution. And our integration. And again, to do something a little bit different, this hopefully is not too complicated, but when you reach the top, we're going to bring the hand across the left side of the head and bring it across the forehead and then brush it down the right side channel. I'm not sure if the right and left is the same for you, whether as you're looking at me, the right may look like the left and vice versa. But again, just to bring up the Kundalini, take your hand on the left side of your head, bring it across the forehead, and brush down the right side channel. So what we're doing is we're cleansing and reducing the sympathetic activity that generates the extra heat and makes us susceptible to negativities. So we're cleansing the right side channel in a different way. We're tracing the path of the right side channel and reducing the influence, allowing the parasympathetic to be more activated. And we're going to do the same thing with the left side channel. So this time, as you raise the Kundalini, bring your right hand across the right side of your head, across the forehead, and then sweep down the left side of your body. We're doing the same thing to cleanse and settle down the left side, the influence of the left side channel. So we're really tracing the path and the direction of these sympathetic channels and aspects within us. And then one last time, we'll just bring our hands up to the top of our head and let's place our palm on the top of our head over the Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra. And we can massage a little bit at this point. And then bring our hand a few inches above our head and see if we can feel for the flow of energy above our head in the form of a cool or possibly a warm breeze, a warm movement, flow of energy. And then we can check with our left hand as well, bring our left hand above our head and see what we feel. And then when we bring our left hand back down, we're going to try to leave our attention at that point above our head. And let's silently meditate again for about 2 or 3 minutes, just allowing our attention to be relaxed inside. So now let's go ahead and finish the foot soak. I'm going to rinse off our feet. Hopefully you have some fresh water with you. We've got to mention that earlier. But if you have some fresh water to rinse off your feet into the foot soak bowl, dispose of the foot soak in the toilet. So we'll just take a break for about 3 or 4 minutes to give everyone a chance to take care of that. And then we will reconvene in a few minutes, few moments. Welcome back, everyone. So let's just take a moment to talk about the topic for today, how to awaken the qualities of Christ within us. So the first step is to ask ourselves, what are these qualities? Some of these were listed earlier when we put the quote of Srimataji at the beginning of our session today. The first and foremost quality that we usually identify that is associated with Christ is that of forgiveness. He referred to forgiveness specifically in some of his teachings And actually in the Lord's Prayer, it was referenced as well. For those of you who are not familiar with the Lord's Prayer, it's Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. So this quality of forgiveness, that we ask for forgiveness and we mete out forgiveness to others. But we can even go one step further, that we're forgiving ourselves as well, and we're forgiving our own thoughts. We're forgiving our own weaknesses. Not being weak about it, like not correcting ourselves. We still want to correct ourselves, but from a point of forgiveness, which Shumataji sometimes says to be pleasantly placed towards yourself. So this quality of forgiveness can be applied in so many ways and in so many situations, that when we say, I forgive everyone, I forgive myself, that we're not enumerating what needs to be forgiven particularly, but we're just taking a complete attitude of forgiveness, which very much quiets down the mind. The other quality that I'd like to highlight is the quality of humility, because Christ was born in a very humble circumstance. So despite the fact that he was so powerful and such a dynamic individual and a dynamic incarnation, at the beginning he was attended by cows. He was born in a manger. So this humility, which is actually in our case as human beings, means we need to surrender our ego. And when we open the Agnya chakra, when the Agnya chakra is clear, this surrender of the ego happens automatically. Actually, at Agnya chakra has the ability to suck down our ego and also our conditionings, our superego. And as it sucks down the ego and superego, it makes a space above our heads. So if we're sucking down, just like we did when we moved our hands across our forehead, we're pulling down this ego and pulling down the superego. So that makes way at the top, makes a gap at the top through which the Kundalini can pass. So this is one of the jobs of the Agnya chakra, and it's one of the qualities of Christ, that he has the ability to reduce the ego and the superego, which act as obstacles to our going into a state of thoughtless awareness. Again, Shimadaji referenced that he was very kind, very compassionate. So for ourselves, we want to focus on those qualities within ourselves, the kindness and the compassion. For others, not a combativeness or argumentative or being at odds with others, but just having that peaceful kindness and compassion that is exemplified by the personality of Christ. So the way to awaken these qualities within us, of course, is exactly what we're doing through our meditation, through our allowing ourselves to go into thoughtless awareness, go into silence, allow our mind to silence, quiet down. And to honor those qualities of Christ and honor his work and to recognize the great significance of his incarnation. Let's go ahead and listen to a talk of Shrimataji, watch a video of Shrimataji where she describes more about the qualities of Christ. But I'll just mention before we start the talk that she uses one expression, one term, a Sanskrit term, which is bhoots. And the meaning of that is simply any negative influence that we may come in contact with. Some sort of negative, could be in the atmosphere, it could be in circumstances we find ourselves, something coming from the left channel or the right channel that is interfering with our awareness and impacting our awareness. So that's what she's referring to when she uses that term. So we can go ahead and start the video.
Before we start celebrating the birth of Christ, we have to little bit review what we have done after his birth, so that we understand where do we stand in relation to him. I've just asked all the. He was the son of a virgin. So that even the slightest blot on his name should not be created, because he was to do the greatest job of creating for us Agnya awareness, which would help us to suck in all our sins, all our conditionings, and all our ego. And this great personality was created for such a great work within ourselves. For us, divine laws are binding because we know that's the only way one can rise. It is not compulsory, but voluntary acceptance that we have to rise, that we have to be all right. There are no conditionings in Sahaja Yoga, but this is how we improve. This is how we go further. So we accept the situation and we move forward with it. That's why realization should give you that strength to fight anti-Christ activities within your mind. You have to face yourself, is the point I'm saying. Not only that you have to face yourself, but you have to face the so-called society that is around you. And see for yourself that these conditionings and these antichrist activities into which you have indulged are completely detrimental to your growth and to your ascent. And as you are special people who have got realization, you have to argue it out with yourself and reach proper conclusions. No use arguing out with others. As you know, with the conditioning, people get quiet, they don't talk. But the conditioning is growing inside. With the ego, people talk too much and they aggress others with their talking, and the ego is growing too much. So one has to be in the witness state. That means wherever you have to talk, and wherever you have to keep quiet, you have to keep quiet. This is at the Vishuddhi level. At the Agnya level, you have to detest all that is ugly, all that is unholy, all that is filth. Because now a new sensitivity has developed within him. A new sensitivity to holiness, to auspiciousness. Try to improve this auspiciousness within. I find people get very easily attached to negative people. They get identified with negative. It's very common. And they think they have been sympathetic. It's a sympathy they are working. So I have to tell you one thing, that to have your ego problem settled, first of all, see that you are not playing to your ego. And also see your conditioning, which are now booths. All these conditionings have become booths in you. All the church booths have got into your heads. They are all there. So you must see that these booths are not there. Because we have to be holy. We have to be clean. We have to be resurrected. We are resurrected people. Christ has resurrected us. But you have to think how much He has to work for us. The more you try to be in union with negativity, we harm Him more, we torture Him more, we trouble Him more. The one who was born in the manger, in the most difficult circumstances, where everybody requires comfort, who was from the very beginning, went through hazardous life till his death. His birth itself, you can see, was in a cow shed. None of you are born in a cow shed. And while the Christians are so particular about comforts, most surprising is why Christ was born in a cow shed. In a very, very cold night, Christ was born. Nothing much to cover. Sparkling beauty it was. Now, we have to keep Him within ourselves, comfortable. We are not going to give Him that manger in our Agnya chakra. Manger of thoughts and a crown of thoughts. That we are not going to give. We are going to make Him comfortable. By not accepting negativity as a sympathy, you have to be kind towards your auspiciousness and holiness so that Christ enjoys His stay there in your Agnya. That we do not torture Him by our useless ideas, uncomfortable behaviors, inauspicious appearances, and unholy acceptance of wrong ideas. Try to respect Him. There He stands. Try to make Him very comfortable. I wish I could do that. But He resides in everybody's Agnya chakra. If He was only in my Agnya, I would have given Him the greatest comfort. But He wants to be manifested in everybody's Agnya. So I have to request you as a mother to look after Him. Give Him a nice cradle. Give Him a comfortable diet, because He is born to give you your resurrection. He's taken up such a great responsibility to suck all your conditioning and to suck all your ego, but doesn't mean that you put stones on top of it. Today is a great day of holiness. Let us celebrate the birth of Christ in our Agnya chakra. And let us sing praise of Him so that He, in His pure sense, in his holy body. He should be there. And in purity you respect him. Absolute in purity. Because he is purity. Now you may say that whether if he's purity, there are some stupid people who ask me, if he's purity, then how can we make him impure? But I mean, if you do not respect him, why will he be there? He'll disappear. He likes purity. He'll disappear from there. It's not good for you. So better create a cradle, a beautiful cradle of love, of honesty, as his mother prepared for him, with all sweetness and kindness and assurance that you will nurture the beauty and the auspiciousness of Christ. May God bless you all.
So now that we've had a few moments of silence to meditate on the teachings of Shrimataji, let's take our left hand and put it on the left side of our head. So this is the location of the ego, which is the culmination of the right side channel. The ego is the idea or the sense within us that we have done something and we should get recognition for it. It's also the idea that we are separate, as we call it, the I-ness. It is actually an illusion. So at this level, we can ask this divine power, Shri Mother Kundalini, please may all this idea, this ego, these false ideas with the ego be absorbed, reduced, and pulled down to relieve any pressure that might be produced by excessive ego within us. May we surrender our egos. It is a relief to surrender. This feeling of surrender is very freeing. So we can say, Mother, I surrender my ego. And then we can bring our left hand back down to our lap. And now let's put our right hand on the right side of our head. This is the location of the superego within us, which is the culmination of the left side channel. And this is here that the accumulation of our memories, our past, and our conditionings gets stored up. And again, we want to reduce that heaviness of excess of superego and conditionings. And we can ask the divine energy, please absorb and reduce and cleanse this superego within me. And again, at this level, we can say, I surrender my superego. And again, we can bring our right hand down. Just take a deep breath. And now we can take our right hand and put it right across the front of our forehead. And we can say, Mother Kundalini, please relax and open my Agnya chakra. There's normally a very constricted space because it is the crossing of the left and right side channels. And the best way for us to open that is, as we were saying before, to surrender the ego and the superego. So Mother Kundalini, please help us that our Agnya chakra should be open, clear, and manifest the qualities of Christ in the form of forgiveness and humility and compassion. And at this level, we can take the very powerful affirmation that, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive myself. Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive my thoughts. I forgive my memories.